Hey Loomers, this is Michelle from Rainbow Loom. We'll be learning how to make this Fishbone Variation bracelet today. I named it this way because the looming steps are really similar to the fishbone bracelet created by Fen from Rainbow Loom. The video for that will be linked below. This bracelet is also similar to a lot of other bracelet designs out there, but I like this one for its simplicity in design and in its steps. There's a lot of cool color patterns that you can do with this bracelet. I would consider this a beginner level design. There aren't any crazy looming techniques, but we do alternate between two looming steps, and it's important to make sure you know which one you're on. But that's probably the only tricky part about this bracelet. Now let's go over the materials needed. For the loom, you'll need anything with 4 pins like this monster tail loom with a hook or this finger loom. Today I'll be using the monster tail loom and a hook from the same monster tail kit. If you're using the finger loom, I would say that a hook isn't necessary, so you can do without it. The bands I'm using are from the Pastel Treasure Box, and the last thing that you'll need is a C or G or easy clip. By the way, all of our treasure boxes and jumbo buckets come with 2 handheld Happy Looms, lots of C-clips, and 7,000 to 8,000 bands. Now as for the band count, this obviously depends on your wrist size, but I would prepare for around 55 inner bands, which are red and green here, and 55 outer bands, which are black here. So that would be 110 bands in total. My bracelet took a little over 100 bands to make, but depending on what kind of fit you want, you might need more or less. Okay, enough talking. Let's start making our bracelet. I'll be using 2 colors to make this. Pastel pink for the inner bands and pastel yellow for the outer bands. Step 1 of making this bracelet is setting it up so that we can start doing the repetitive looming pattern to grow our bracelet. The first band we're going to lay down is our outer border band, which we'll call our square band. In this bracelet, it's the glittery white color, and again I'm using pastel yellow for this. Place the band onto 4 pins in a square shape, and then we're going to twist the band on all 4 of those pins like so. Remember to push down on the bands occasionally so that you have room on the loom to put more bands on. And that's all there was to do for setup. Now we can start the repetitive looming pattern. Step 2, take the color that you want for the inner portion, which we'll call our crossband, and place it onto 2 diagonal pins like this so that it crosses the square band. You will always use these 2 pins for your crossband for the rest of your bracelet. Make sure that the bands do not overlap each other and that the band we place stays on top. Step 3, take your hook and from the outside of the pin, bring the bottom band, which is our square band, up and over on the 2 pins where we placed our crossband. On all 4 pins now, there should just be 1 layer of rubber band. Step 4, add your square band. This time there's no more twisting, we're just stretching it across on all 4 pins. And make sure again that the bands do not overlap. Step 5, take your hook and from the outside of the pin, bring the bottom band, which is a combination of our square and cross band, up and over on all 4 pins. After doing that, there should only be a square band left on the pins. And that's it for the pattern. We'll restart this from step 2 until we reach our desired length. So first add your crossing band and make sure that you're using the same pins as before. Second, use your hook to loom the bands on the pins where we placed our crossing band. Each time you use your hook to loom the bands over, there should only be 1 layer of rubber band left on all 4 pins. Third, add your square band on all 4 pins. And fourth, use your hook to loom the bands on all 4 pins. Your square band should be the only band left on the pins at this point. To close off the bracelet, we aren't adding any extra bands, so just continue this until the bracelet fits your wrist, and don't forget to push down on the bands to make room for more bands. I'll keep doing this with you a few more times, and then I'll give you a tip on how to remember which step comes next. And lastly, I'll show how I close off this bracelet. Let's start again. So first, place down your crossing band. Then use your hook to loom over the bottom band on the 2 pins that we just placed the crossing band on. Third, place down your square band. And fourth, use your hook to loom over the bottom band on all 4 pins. Now we can restart this from the beginning. First, place the crossing band. Second, loom the bands over on the crossing band pins. Third, place the square band. And fourth, loom the band over on all 4 pins. Let's do this one more time together. First, crossing band. Second, loom the band over on 2 pins. Third, square band. And lastly, loom the band over on 4 pins. Now, if you have trouble remembering which band to put on next, maybe you were zoned out or you were in autopilot mode, it's okay, this is a no judgment zone. If the last band makes more of a square shape from the top, and there's only one band color on the pins, that means you just put on your square band, and now you need to put on the crossing band next. If your bands make a kind of cross or plus sign or X shape and there's 2 colors on the pins, then that means you just put on your crossing band, and now you need to put on the square band next. I'm gonna keep doing this on my own until the bracelet is long enough to fit around my wrist, and I'll see you when we're ready to close off the bracelet and take it off the loom. And we're back. Hope you didn't miss me too much. Let's end this bracelet. So I have just placed my square band on and did all of the looming. Now I'm using my hook to move the band on the bottom left pin to the pin on its right. Then I'm taking the band on the top right pin and moving it to the pin on its left. Just like we did before, use your hook to loom the bottom band over on both pins. Now we can move the rubber bands onto the same pin and put our C or G or easy clip on. There's a couple of ways to end this bracelet, but this is probably the easiest. It's just looping the existing bands over to the ones next to it. After you put on your clip of choice and attach both sides on, then your bracelet is complete. Thanks for watching this tutorial on how to create this Fishbone Variation bracelet. I'm excited to see what your bracelets will look like, so if you make this, please tag us at this username and use the hashtag Rainbow Loom so that we can see your creations on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. We also host weekly giveaways on Instagram, and sometimes we even give away larger or more unique prizes, so be sure to follow us on there. For the month of February, we even gave away the Auto Loom along with 6 packs of bands. In the description box below, you can also find where to purchase your own Rainbow Loom kit, especially if you're in the US. We have so many kits available, there's honestly something for everyone. Anyways, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.